Episode 6 of Black Doves begins with Sam waking up after being knocked out. He looks up to find Eleanor and Kai Ming both tied to chairs. As for Helen, she rings Reed and told her that you sent a teenager Danny to kill me. Then Reed responded that I want to fix it. Helen said that next time, send an experienced and competent girl and leave the Sam because he is loyal. Reed said I gave him a chance to show his loyalty. I sent him the Alex Clark's address to kill him. Reed gives a chance to Helen to bring a recording device. Helen decided to kill all those people who killed Jason, Maggie, Philip, Commissioner Yerrick, and frighten my children. Helen calls the Williams to come outside and force her to be together to find the Trent. Helen asked about the Sam to William. William said no idea. Then Helen told that we'll meet to Clark with this drive at midday. The pair head off to see Trent. They show him the surveillance footage and threaten him to call his mother Alex because he has trapped my friends. Helen said to his mother the drop-off will be in 1 hour. You're going to be there in person. If you're not or my friend are hurt in any way, then it will lead to a very bad news for the Trent here. He eventually gets them a meet with Alex. With the meet going down, Reed plays Puppet Master and lets Mr. Reed know about the transfer about to go down. As for Cole, he returns to the embassy in enough time to head out the door for the meet. Now, Helen stashes her gun inside Trent's jacket pocket before they arrive right at the spot where the others are being held hostage in the middle of London. Helen meet and save her friends. As they look set to leave, Alex Clark shows up at the door. Now, at this point, Helen brandishes the recorder from her pocket and hands it over because this is an exchange meeting. Helen told to the Alex that Ambassador fell and hit his head. He was killed by accidentally. Alex checks over the footage for herself and sees it's legit, and unfortunately Kai Ming also sees her dad being killed by Trent too. While this is going on, Wallace receives word of the tape and brings this news to the PM that Americans think that there's a tape recording of Ambassador death. He seems suspiciously distracted and messages his contact, telling them the Americans are on the way. His contact? None other than the Clarks. Helen grabs the gun from Trent's pocket and wants to know the cause of murder of Jason. Sam advised to Helen not to do that. Alex warns not to pull the trigger. If she does, it'll cause a catastrophic chain of events that will crumble everything around them. However, it soon becomes clear that it wasn't Alex who killed Jason. It was Trent. He wanted to try and fix what he'd done with the ambassador, and he worked against his family's interests. While the U.S. and the Chinese are outside at loggerheads with one another, there's a tense standoff inside. Eventually, all-out chaos ensues. Sam grabs the gun, kills Alex's bodyguard, then Alex, and finally Trent. While outside, all the agents for both the Chinese and the U.S. are killed, save for Cole. Back inside, Helen is angry and believes Trent was her kill, but Sam hugs her and tells her it's over. Well, it's not. They receive a call saying they're being watched, and they will be held responsible. Cole survives the bloodbath outside, just in time for Helen to hand over the recording. This helps the Chinese back down, while all the drama is pinned on Stephen Yerrick. He also implicated some people on the tape, including the PM himself. This also means that Wallace is in place to be the next prime minister, much sooner than expected. That night, Helen meets Reed at the local church. She brings up the news about Alex Clark and feeds back what really happened. Turns out there's someone who was watching the ambassador's family this whole time. This was Maggie. She'd been selling stories about Kai Ming to the press for extra cash when MI5 tapped her up. She was the one who planted the camera in Kai Ming's flat, and when she checked the footage, she also told Philip, which in turn basically led to a chain of events that left a big trail, with Jason, Yerrick, and subsequently Helen all thrown into the mix and needing to be killed to keep all of this quiet. Jason, as it turns out, was an agent working for MI5. However, he lied for Helen and never revealed anything about her being a dove. One day before his murder, within his report of investigation about Helen, he did not find any evidence that you're a spy. So, Jason simply called her a loyal citizen and wife. Jason saved her at great risk to himself, which seems to confirm that he really did have feelings for her. Reed hands over a USB drive which holds Jason's real self, a Christmas present of sorts to her black dove, before leaving. Helen is going to be inside Downing Street before long, and she needs to get to work. Helen decides not to go digging into Jason's past, and drops the drive into the water. As for Sam, He returns to Michael and seems content that everything is over. However, it's obviously not because we still have 20 minutes left of the episode. Yep, we've got one more loose end to tie up. Hector. He happens to be inside Michael's apartment, and he brings up his past. He hated his brothers, but obviously they were also blood too, so he's at a bit of a conundrum. Hector had been conflicted for a long time, unsure whether Sam was his guardian angel or his worst enemy. Well, he's come to a decision and subsequently offers him a job. With the Clarks taking a big hit, Sam could come and work for him, and they can try to fight off what's coming. And there is undoubtedly a lot of heat coming their way now. When he leaves, Michael sees the final part of this meeting and confronts Sam. The pair have a final goodbye kiss and part ways, with Sam realizing he's never going to get his happily ever after. Sam shows up to see Lenny and points a gun at her, deciding they should just let bygones be bygones. Sam eventually doesn't kill Lenny, but it's unclear whether he trusts that she'll leave him alone or not. We'll have to wait and see. As for Helen, she heads home and Wallace holds her hand as they watch the kids open presents and gifts. On Christmas morning, Helen decides Sam should come join them. Sam comes on her invitation and brought some gifts for her kids. He meets with Wallace. After taking some refreshments, Helen asks to Sam, "So what now?" Sam is sticking around in London for a while, and he clarifies that he would do this every time to protect her. As the episode closes out, Williams, Kai Ming, and Eleanor all hang out together too, while we get a montage showing Reed with her daughter. We also see the Helen, Wallace with his kids, and Sam around the dining table. Subscribe this channel for all worldwide web series recap.